Right, today we're going to do some live interactive start of interactive classes, because I have got a guest here who wants to learn to sew. So we're going to be doing some Western styles in the coming weeks, hopefully. I have my granddaughter's teacher who's come to join us today. She's called Samantha. And I'll just introduce her first, and then we'll go according to the sewing. Do you want to just say hello?
Hello.
Okay, this is Samantha. So we're going to be sewing for Samantha. She's going to be asking questions. She is... do you know anything about sewing first, Samantha?
Very basic. I've done a very basic college course in sewing.
Okay, so she's actually ahead of me. She's done a college course at least. I have done no college courses, but I am a self-taught person, and I am going to be teaching you through practical ways.
Yes.
So mine is a practical method, and what I often do, like the Western culture, you learn to sew with patterns and slow sewing. Okay, ours tends to be fast and without any pins and without any patterns, okay, and it's going according to whatever you want to copy. So today we want to copy this particular dress. It's a standard, not exactly a very fancy type of a dress, a very standard summer sundress with a sort of slightly wide neck, a little bit of frilling around the neck, very loosely elasticated, a little bit of a frill on the sleeves with piping, and the frill at the bottom is like a double frill, very short frill with a lengthy frill at the bottom. Now with Samantha, what we're going to do with this one, she wants to replicate this. What we're going to do is replicate this on a chiffon, but we want to make the size slightly larger.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is take the size of this dress and take Samantha's size, and then see where we need to do the alterations to make this into larger. Okay. So if we make a note, if you write and I will measure, and then we make the comparisons.
Yes.
Okay. So what it is to what we want to make it. Now the thing with this, we've got two types of fabrics. So when we're sewing, we've got to judge our fabric and we've got to judge our style. And now the fabric that this dress is currently on is jersey. Jersey stretches. This fabric is chiffon. Chiffon doesn't stretch. Okay, so whereas this might be tight for you, it will still accommodate you because of the fact that it stretches. It might not look right, it might look disproportioned, but you'll still manage to get it on. Okay, whereas if you had it out of chiffon and if you sewed it to exactly this size, then you would probably not get into it either, because of the fact that it's not, that hasn't got the stretch. Yeah. Okay, so we need to familiarize ourselves with the fabric, and then we need to familiarize ourselves with the measurements. Okay, so that was just a little bit of a brief explanation on what the difference is with the fabrics and where the differences come when it comes to sewing. I know it becomes a boring video. Sometimes people don't want to watch that part of the video where the explanations are taking place. But what happens is, if you don't understand the explanation and if you've not understood your fabric, then you're going to make mistakes in the sewing. So ultimately, just spending a bit of time to understand and listen in on the talk will actually prepare you to judge your fabrics a lot better.
Yeah.
And the sewing, it'll give you hints on the sewing as well. So don't lose heart, just keep on watching, and inshallah, it means you don't have to watch this video again. Once you've watched it, you're familiarized. Second time you can go straight to the sewing, But I always recommend maybe the first time, no matter how boring you find the video. Okay, so we're gonna go with standard measurements, okay? So do you wanna do like a rough sketch of this design first?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I mean by a rough sketch is, felt tip here somewhere. I want to do it with a felt tip so I can, and I'm not very good at drawing, okay, and I always say this, that I'm going to draw it quite large, because I'm going to draw it quite large excuse my drawing because I am not very good at drawing at all. Now this is something that I'd like Inaya to have, get the skill of making nice drawings, so she can take over this part and she can do better drawings. Okay.
I'm good at drawing.
Okay. So that's my rough sketch of the dress. Okay, it's not very nice, but it's only for explanation purposes. So we want the length like such, and then we want the length of the frill, the waist, the area to waist, shoulders, armhole, and then you want your hips and you want bust. Okay, so we've got a bust, a waist, hips, full length. So this is just understanding what the basic measurements, when I'm taking the measurements, then it's easy to understand what we're doing. Okay, so we've got the full length of the dress is, would you like exactly same length?
Yes,
as this?
finished,
So
yeah.
33 is the up to the frill point, and then you've got a 6-inch frill.
That's inch, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So you've got 33, so total length is 39 inches. So the 17 inches on the bust. Oh, have you done it in centimeters?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Just write them down and then we'll transfer and we'll do
Right.
it.
17.
I often work in inches, so I find it hard to do it in centimeters. Yeah, 17 inches is the bust area. Now this is like a, there's been a cut to that. Okay. The hips is 40. Do you want to just
hold that,
yeah,
yeah.
just hold that. So it's 18. 18 on the, it's like a cut on a A-line shape. And then the width at the bottom so it's cut slightly A-line and it's 24 at the bottom. Okay, the armhole is 9 inches and the depth of the neck is about 7 inches. And then on top of your shoulder is just about 1 inch. Okay. So that's, and then we'll do the frills as we're going along. We don't really need to bother measuring it. Now, the other one that we want is the waistline on this is 13 inches. Now, that might just slightly change with your measurement for now. That's the length. So that's from the waist, shoulder to the waist area. Okay, so these are the measurements currently, and we're going to be doing some changes. So I'm going to take Samantha's measurements and then make comparisons and then come back and do like a, you know, how much of extra we want to add to these measurements to get this design so that it's something which is more fitting, better fit. Yeah. You pause there, do your measurements and then